Today on People Now, a community rocked after megachurch pastor Jarrid Wilson dies by suicide.
Also on today's show,
Mike was probably one of the most lovable people you ever want to meet.
Tito Jackson defending brother Michael Jackson against sexual abuse allegations.
Some PDA between Shawn, Mendes and Camila Cabello has fans going nuts.
The winner of People's second annual World's Cutest Rescue Dog Contest is here.
Plus, Real Housewives of Dallas star LeeAnne Locken gets us up to speed on what to expect in the rest of season 4.
It's all live today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey, happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. I can't get the words out of my mouth.
It's a busy day. We have a lot going on.
It's a busy day. You know what's crazy? Football season already underway. Part of the changing of the seasons. Here comes fall. Of course, that means people are already speculating about who will perform at the next Super Bowl, at least in our circles around here.
I was going to say, some people like the sports aspect. Some people are very excited about halftime.
Who's going to perform? Now, some artists would fight for their chance at the legendary halftime show. Rihanna, though, recently revealed that she is not one of those people. We're going to have more details on that for you later on in the show.
She shut it down. But first, we want to know which iconic Super Bowl halftime show performance from the past is your favorite. Was it the epic Aerosmith NSYNC Britney Spears collab from 2001?
That was epic.
Yeah. But maybe it's Beyonce reuniting with Destiny's Child in 2013. That was also epic. Lady Gaga's memorable performance from 2016, or Prince's 2007 performance in the pouring rain. Vote on these, or if your favorite didn't make our list, tweet us with the hashtag #PeopleNow.
You know what's funny about that? It's risky because there's so much attention and it can be really great, but the expectation's so high that there's a lot of criticism.
But that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you take it? I don't know.
All right. We'll talk more about that and chat in a bit, but for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. Beginning with some tragic news today. Popular mega church pastor and mental health advocate Jarrid Wilson has died by suicide at the age of 30. Wilson was a pastor at the Harvest Christian Fellowship Church in California. He also founded Anthem of Hope in 2016. It's a faith-centered organization dedicated to amplifying hope for those battling depression. Wilson's wife, Julie, broke the news to her followers by sharing this video of her sweet husband, as she said, playing with their son. Julie explained that the video taken on Monday is the last memory she has of her husband as he died that same night. She adds in the caption that she can't sleep, so she's watching this video over and over again, just heartbreaking. She also remembered her husband in the caption, writing in part, "I love you, Jarrid. I miss you beyond what my heart can stand. Thank you for loving our boys and I with the greatest passion and selflessness I've ever seen or felt in my entire life." And she added, "I'd do anything for a hug from you right now." In a separate post, Julie shared a slideshow of photos of Wilson smiling widely as he fished, he hiked, spent time with his children. And while Julie remains devastated over her husband's death, she wrote in the caption that he's no longer in pain and that there's no more struggle because he's finally free. Julie went on to say, quote, "Suicide doesn't get the last word," vowing to do her best to continue Wilson's legacy of love. Now, in his last Twitter post shared hours before his death, the father of two wrote that loving Jesus doesn't always cure suicidal thoughts and depression, PTSD, and anxiety, but that Jesus always offers companionship and comfort. Prior to his death, Wilson made it his mission to help those struggling with depression and mental illness. Harvest Christian Fellowship has since released a statement mourning their pastor's death on their website, while a GoFundMe has been created in hopes of raising donations for Wilson's family. We wish them all the best during this really difficult time. All right, on to this. Tito Jackson got emotional talking to us about his late brother, Michael Jackson, and the allegations that continue to surround Michael today. Now, earlier this year, you probably know, HBO released the explosive and controversial two-part documentary, Leaving Neverland. In that film, two men, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, alleged that Michael Jackson sexually abused them when they were children. The Jackson estate has since sued HBO and slammed the documentary, calling it, quote, another rehash of dated and discredited allegations. We asked Tito in general about dealing with negative headlines about his family, and here's what he had to say. Watch. You've lived through so many waves of your family being under a lot of scrutiny.
Right.
What is your attitude or your strategy when it comes to headlines being everywhere that are very negative and very difficult? What's your strategy for handling?
Well, I've never really give them that type of consideration because I know what's real and what's not real. And I've always been, my father have always said, which when they don't talk about you, you know that you're not doing something right. If they constantly talking about you, you're doing something correct. And the perception that the world or some may have of my brother Michael is totally false. You know, Mike was probably one of the most lovable people you ever want to meet. Like he said in interviews, he's not trying to be Jesus, but he like the way Jesus gave and cared for people and done things. And he likes to live in that atmosphere and contribute when he can. He's done tons of things for children and paid for operations, colleges, and helped families in need and the whole ball of wax. So.
Yeah, we had agreed before the interview not to speak about the specifics of the Michael Jackson case with Tito, but we were happy to get his perspective on his family's journey through all of this. And we'll have more from Tito Jackson next week on People Now, so tune back in for that. All right, even with an iconic career in television, Meredith Vieira says family comes first. The veteran news anchor has always been candid about her triumphs and struggles, telling People in this week's issue, quote, "It's been a constant search to navigate and make my own way, but you have to pick your path and be happy." For Meredith and her husband of 33 years, journalist Richard Cohen, that means accepting challenges when it comes to his health. Richard, who is legally blind, is also living with multiple sclerosis, an autoimmune disease that targets the central nervous system. Meredith gets real about coping with the tough days, telling us that she and her husband definitely allow each other to vent. She says, certainly he's allowed to vent because he's got chronic illness, but I am too, because there are days I can't stand it and the limitations it puts on the entire family. She's being very raw and honest about this. And another thing Meredith had to cope with was when her former co-host Matt Lauer was fired from NBC in 2017 for allegations of sexual misconduct. Meredith calls learning the news of Matt's firing a gut punch. She adds, the whole thing is just so sad. She declined to define her status with her former co-host, but says that she never felt unsafe around him herself, adding that she never took him seriously. According to Meredith, the two were like brother and sister. Today, Meredith is focused on the future, and that includes her upcoming game show, 25 Words or Less, in which a contestant tries to have their two celebrity partners guess 10 answers in, you guessed it, 25 words or less. Kind of self-explanatory. It actually sounds really fun. The show premieres September 16th. You can check your local listings for that. All right, on to Sheryl Crow. She believes business is just business. On an appearance of Watch What Happens Live Wednesday, the singer revealed to Andy Cohen that she doesn't know what the big stink was over Scooter Braun buying Taylor Swift's masters. Now, while Crow says that she lives with her head in a big hole, as she put it, and stays out of that world, she explained that deals like Braun's actually happen pretty often. Watch this.
I will say one thing about masters is that, you know, like I signed with a record label 30 years ago, and within 5 years, then it became owned by Interscope, and then Interscope got bought by Universal. And so these things that's just the way the business goes. It's totally not unusual for your masters to change hands like 9,000 times.
Sheryl Crow recently signed with Big Machine Label Group, which was acquired by Scooter Braun earlier this summer. Taylor Swift's music went along with that acquisition, which Swift said made her feel sad and grossed out. Crow went on to agree with Cohen that a deal like this could even happen again, implying that what happened to Swift is not at all that rare in the biz. It's interesting to get another artist's perspective here, and I think Taylor speaking out so openly about it is really bringing this kind of thing into the public's awareness, more so than it would in a normal deal. But after that deal was announced, Taylor Swift wrote a lengthy post on Tumblr saying in part, "For years, I pleaded for a chance to own my work. I had to make the excruciating choice to leave behind my past. Music I wrote on my bedroom floor and videos I dreamed up and paid for from the money I earned playing in bars, then clubs, then arenas, then stadiums." She added, "I learned about Scooter Braun's purchase of my masters as it was announced to the world. All I could think about was the incessant manipulative bullying I've received at his hands for years." That was Taylor's statement. Swift revealed on Good Morning America while promoting her 7th album, Lover, that she's going to be re-recording albums 1 through 5 all over again in order to create and own new versions of the masters. The superstar is really excited about it. She added on the morning show, quote, "I just think that artists deserve to own their work. I just feel very passionately about that."
I mean, I agree with her. I think the artists should own their own work. I didn't know the inner workings of the music industry. I didn't know that someone else could own the masters and everything. So obviously there's a lot more going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I guess it's kind of one of those things. It is very business, and I don't fully understand it, but when an artist is new and a music label brings them on, pays for everything, I believe, initially to get their recordings.
From the outside, it seems unfair, but it's not how the industry's been working for so many years.
We're not music execs, but or industry experts, but it would be interesting to see if the needle moves a little bit on this after Taylor has brought this to light. So anyway, you have more for us in Star Treks.
I do. We are kicking off Star Treks today with some over-the-top PDA. Take a look.
On Twitter and stuff, you guys saying stuff about the way we're kissing and how it looks weird, like we kiss like fish.
Yeah.
And
really hurt our feelings.
we just want to show you how we really kiss.
Yeah.
Wow, the kiss or whatever that was heard around the world. Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello are sending a message to their critics with this video of them seemingly starting out to lock lips in a romantic kiss. Then they take a comedic turn with an over-the-top makeout session. This was the first thing I saw this morning, and I can't unsee it.
I don't hate it.
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I can't stop watching.
It's funny.
I mean, yeah, okay, they have great chemistry. That's definitely not how they kiss. It's a lot. It's extra. Some of their famous friends.
Intentionally extra.
Yes, of course,
Yeah.
intentionally. Their friends really enjoyed this, though, enjoyed the stunt. Singer Charlie Puth couldn't contain his laughter. He posted in the comments a long line of ha 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 ha. While former One Direction star Niall Horan added a row of laughing and crying emojis. It is really funny that they did this because I guess a lot of people, there's paparazzi photos and people were making fun of them.
Well, and there's been so much made of their almost kisses on the
Yes, the PDA video comes days after Camila made a surprise appearance at Shawn's Toronto concert on Friday, where they performed their steamy duet, Senorita. At the end of the song, Shawn appeared to kiss Camila on her cheek, just teasing us even more. And who could forget their VMAs performance in August? While there was no kiss there, despite everyone wanting one, there was romantic lighting, sultry dancing. The pair was also seen cuddling with one another in the audience during the awards show. The duo has played very coy about their romance over the last several months, even after being spotted kissing in public on multiple occasions. But now with this video, they seem to be really putting it all out there. Well, Rihanna has a lot on her plate, so the Super Bowl will have to wait. While attending Tuesday's Savage Fenty show at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, the singer told ET that performing at the Super Bowl 54 halftime show is not on her to-do list. So here's what she said. "You're gonna ask me about Super Bowl? My fans have my neck." Fans have been anxiously awaiting her next LP, but according to Rihanna, they'll have to keep waiting. She has a reasoning behind the delay, though, saying whatever I do is going to be confident, whether it's the album, perfume, lingerie, makeup, or fashion. She adds, "Y'all gonna have to wait. Navy, I'm so sorry." Navy is the name of her fan base. In October 2018, it was reported that the 31-year-old had declined the opportunity to headline the NFL's biggest night of the year. At the time, a source with knowledge of the situation confirmed the news with People, explaining that the decision was likely made in support of former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick. The source said, "I don't work with Rihanna, so I don't know what her camp told them, but the word within the organization is that's why she said no." Now, if you remember, in 2016, Kaepernick started the Take a Knee movement when he declined to stand for the national anthem in protest of police brutality and the racial injustices faced by people of color in America. But if Rihanna's not doing the Super Bowl, that leaves one big question. Who is? Well, there are growing rumors that Jennifer Lopez is slated to headline in 2020, but she's been playing it pretty coy. When asked about the possibility by Ryan Seacrest during her appearance on Live with Kelly and Ryan on Wednesday morning, she said, "I don't know. I know everybody's asking me. They're starting to think I'm telling people things. I don't know anything yet." Ryan did press the question a little, adding that saying yes to performing at the event would be a great thing. J-Lo agreed, adding, "In theory, yes, it would be. It's something that we've talked about for many years, and you know, it would be nice. It would be nice. I can't say I wouldn't love it." I think maybe she's gonna do it. The Super Bowl is set to take place on February 2nd at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. A rep for J-Lo had no comment on the rumors. Those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, stay with us. We've got the adorable winner of this year's People's World's Cutest Rescue Dog Contest. He or she will join us live today. Plus, Real Housewives of Dallas star LeeAnne Locken will be here, and we're going to get her to weigh in on all the drama in our weekly Housewives recap. Stick around for that.
All right, we've been asking you which iconic Super Bowl halftime show performance from the past is your favorite in our People poll. So let's take a look.
Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Okay, I mean, that was a really great performance. But
Yeah,
I
it
think
is
it's
really
pretty
close.
close here.
All right.
It's hard to choose because they're all very different.
Man, if J-Lo does it, that'd be huge.
I think it'd be a good time for her to do that.
Yeah, it'd be one of the biggest in a while, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think she would really bring it, and who would they partner with and all that. Anyway, please let it happen. We'll put it out there.
A-Rod's going to be in the back videoing all of it.
A-Rod comes out on the stage
Yeah.
just with his phone the whole time. That's it. For now, we move on to this, guys.
Yes, Alton Brown has hit an all-time high on and off the screen. In this week's issue of People, the Food Network star is celebrating the return of Good Eats, his series which first launched in 1999. The show returned this past August after 7 years off the air.
Alton says that he always planned on doing the show again, but needed to find the time and the inspiration to start. And he tells us in this week's issue of People, quote, "It's not a true artistic endeavor unless I do it for me, and if somebody watches, great, this is now for me."
Not only does he have a new show, he also has a new love in his life with his wife, Elizabeth Ingram. Alton says Elizabeth's hippie vibe has had a calming effect on him. He explains, "I was like an old creaky ship when I met her. It's so funny. Back in 2015, Alton split from his second wife, former executive producer of Good Eats, Deanna Brown, after 21 years of marriage. The two split shortly after Alton resigned from their Johnson Ferry Baptist Church, which tried to keep the couple together despite their desire to split.
In Alton's words, his attachment to the church didn't really take. He says there was, quote, too much contradiction for his social beliefs. Though they don't talk much anymore, the two still co-parent their 19-year-old daughter Zoe, who is a sophomore at Georgetown.
Alton says this about his ex-wife: "We changed, the world changed, and she went one way and I went the other. I think we're probably both a heck of a lot better off where we are."
And better off he's been. He's not just enjoying a newfound confidence in his professional life, but also in his personal life. After separating from Deanna, Alton started over, and that meant finding a new home. He bought a 3-bedroom industrial loft 2 miles from where he films, and in 2017, hired interior designer Elizabeth Ingram to make over his space. You can kind of see where this is going. Although Alton is often recognized, Elizabeth had no idea who he was when they first met. Alton says that she thought he was the guy from Molten Brown Soap. I don't even know what that is. Alton slowly turned every meeting they had into a date, and the rest was history. A month before renovations were finished, they were engaged. They wed last fall and now live in an apartment with their dogs.
And even the people around him have noticed how happy he's been. Alton says, "There have been times where I've worked to avoid the rest of my life. I don't do that anymore." The couple will celebrate their 1-year wedding anniversary on September 29th. Very happy for them.
An 82-year-old prankster's family is sending him off in the best way they know how, through laughter, by writing him one hilarious obituary.
I love this story. Joe Heller spent the duration of his life pranking others, so when he died at the age of 82 on Sunday, his family couldn't resist getting in one last prank before laying their patriarch to rest.
Inspired by her father's unique perspective on life, one of Joe's 3 daughters, Monique, wrote the comedic yet touching farewell on behalf of her family and shared it to the Robinson Wright and Weimer Funeral Home website. This was all reported by CNN.
Monique describes how Joe, who was born during the Great Depression, lived a life of frugality, hoarding, and cheap mischief, often at the expense of others. Monique also jokes, when the doctors confronted his daughters with the news last week that your father is a very sick man, in unison they replied, "You have no idea."
So from the very beginning, Monique says her father enjoyed torturing his siblings through a childhood of obnoxious pranks with his brother Bob, generally serving as his wingman.
You gotta have a wingman, you know? She goes on to add, he loved pranking bullies at school with laxative-laced chocolate cake and excrement meatloaf sandwiches, saying no person was ever in the clear from Joe's hijinks. That's hilarious.
And disgusting.
And I like that he's going after bullies, right?
There you go, yeah, if you're going to go after anyone. Later in life, while Joe was working as a self-taught chemist, he met a woman named Irene, and she soon became his wife, something Monique jokes was still surprising to this day. She writes, quote, "Irene was hoodwinked into thinking that he was a charming individual with decorum. Boy, was she ever wrong. Joe embarrassed her daily with his mouth and choice of clothing. To this day, we do not understand how he convinced our mother, an exceedingly proper woman and a pillar in her church, to sew and create the colorful costumes and props which he used for his antics."
Joe and Irene eventually welcomed 3 daughters, but the pranks did not stop there. In fact, they were only enhanced, especially when the girls started dating. Monique remembers when they began dating, Joe would greet their dates by first running their license plates, checking for bald tires. If their vehicle passed inspection, they were invited into the house where shotguns, harpoons, and sheep nutters were left clearly on display. Wow.
Just kind of ominous threat looming. His family also jokes about his tendencies to frequently hoard things, take inconvenient naps, and snore incredibly loudly. They also apologize to their late mom, saying that they tried to take care of him the best that they could and keep him out of her hair for as long as they could. And now they say that the ball is back in her court.
When she came to live with us, she didn't want to really have anything to do with people, but over a period of time, she's really come to be a really important part of our family.
You're looking at 6-year-old Casey, the winner of People's 2nd annual World's Cutest Rescue Dog Contest.
We are thrilled to have Casey here with us, along with her loving family, Sheila and Gabriella Cosgrove, as well as People's pet editor, Kelly Bender. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing this little fluffer here.
Isn't she precious?
Look at her.
So cute.
You know what? She can already tell she's a star. Look at her just laid out, just like enjoying the lights and the cameras. Like, this is my, oh yeah, nothing to her. Please.
Unbothered.
Please. All right, Casey, quite the girl. Why'd you want to submit her in the contest to start with?
Well, we wanted to really put a focus on the plight of rescue dogs, and she was rescued from a puppy mill. So just really wanted people to know that how great they really are and how quickly they can be rehabilitated. So, and we think she's absolutely beautiful.
She is.
And
that is an important story to tell, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, of course, we wanted to be able to provide a donation to a charity that helped bring her home. So that was part of it as well.
Yeah. Do you know more about her story? I know you said puppy mill, but what else kind of went into finding her?
So she was rescued from a puppy mill in upstate New York. She was one of over 100 dogs who were in the puppy mill for a period of time. And it was really a loose network of volunteers really on the East Coast who kind of banded together to get all these dogs out of the puppy mill. So she was in pretty bad shape when she came to us.
Yeah.
But when after a few months, she started kind of coming out of her shell, and then eventually she
Digging in that paw.
and now she's really calm and
Very comfortable.
She's very, very comfortable with people, which is great because it took a while. But
Gabriella, when you first met her, what was that moment like?
So I think the first moment when I met her, it was scary because I never had a rescue dog that I haven't met before, and it was we went all the way to, where did we go to again?
we went to Maryland.
Maryland. And so when I met her, it was kind of scary because she was just freaked out and she just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's really scared.
Let's talk about this. It's the second annual World's Cutest Rescue Dog Contest. Why are rescue dogs something that People loves highlighting?
We love highlighting them because rescue dogs have overcome usually a lot of adversity, and it shows the power of forgiveness that all animals are capable of. I think something I hear over and over again from the parents of rescue animals is that we loved helping this dog, cat, guinea pig because they went through something, but then they still had the capacity to love and show us all this love. And we just want to highlight that because I think there's certain people who think that maybe a rescue dog is damaged, and that's not the case. If there is an issue, it's something that you guys can work on together, and they're going to be so grateful and just for the love you give them. And also with a dog like Casey, who's a Keeshund, is that how you say it? Keeshund, which is a purebred dog. It's great to highlight that if you want a rescue dog or you don't think you want a rescue dog because you want a certain breed, rescue dogs come in all breeds, shapes, sizes, ages.
I feel like
So she knows how to shake.
Yeah.
Do you know other tricks?
Yeah.
No, that's pretty much it.
Well, she does it voluntarily. Walked over, offered the shake. There she goes. So other than the shake, what set Casey apart in terms of this contest and this competition?
We really loved her story, the fact of what she's been through and the fact that she came from kind of this terrifying, abusive place and is now this sweet, very well-mannered, very adorable dog. And actually, one of our celebrity judges, Dan Smyers of the country duo Dan and Shay, he helped pick our rescue dog, and he picked Casey because, like Casey, he had a dog that he rescued that was left outside in the elements for 4.5 years before he rescued her. And Casey went through something similar, and he saw her and saw how happy she was.
And the winner gets a pretty cool prize. So what are you guys doing with the prize?
We actually are donating the prize money to the Keeshund affiliated rescuers of the Mid-Atlantic. They were really instrumental in taking care of the dogs that came out of the puppy mill. And they continue to do great work. And that's who we want to say thank you to.
Keep giving back.
What are some of Casey's favorite things to do? Other than the handshake, which is,
Loves the
we're huge
handshake.
fans of.
Me and Casey do this thing where we blow on her ear, and then sometimes she would take her paw up and she would go like that. Sometimes she would roll on the floor and want you to scratch her belly, but depends on her mood. So
I just want to, there we go. She's out of here. I just want to cuddle up with her. She's so soft.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Fluffy. What are your hopes for Casey and your future days with your family?
Just to continue to thrive, continue to feel loved, feel safe, really the basics.
She seems like she's very comfortable and does feel very happy.
She is.
And what advice do you have for other families looking to rescue a dog?
I'm sorry?
What advice do you have for other families looking to rescue a dog?
Just know it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of love, but they're definitely worth it, and to just to go for it, I would say.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for being here. Kelly, Sheila, Gabriella, and of course, Casey. Thank you for being here. Thanks, best friend. Here. Okay. Come back anytime if you want to do this stuff. If you want to learn more about Casey's story and to see the runner-ups for People's World's Cutest Rescue Dog, pick up the latest issue of People. It is on newsstands Friday.
Just tell us everything you remember. any business dealings, any personal dealings, any criminal activity you were a witness or a party to, anything and everything. Just tell us your story.
Living is a dream when you make it seem enchanted.
Calling all Breaking Bad fans, Jesse Pinkman is back, and he's telling all, or is he? I don't know. Netflix just released a new trailer for El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and we are so pumped for this.
While the film's plot remains under wraps, it appears Aaron Paul's character is front and center. In the clip, an emotionally distraught Jesse sits on a couch in front of a camera, is encouraged to recount what he can remember.
As fans of the hit AMC series know, Jesse was both witness and accessory to plenty of criminal activity as a meth cook for Bryan Cranston's Walter White, a high school chemistry teacher turned drug kingpin.
Yeah, the trailer then cuts to a long montage of Jesse's memories set to Enchanted by Chloe and Halle. The footage paired with the song is really hauntingly beautiful. Great song choice, Netflix. We're into it.
Yeah, the clip features appearances by Bryan Cranston, Kristen Ritter, who played Jesse's love interest Shane, and several other familiar faces as well.
As the trailer ends, viewers catch a glimpse of Jesse in his final appearance on the show as he makes his escape from captors in a Chevy El Camino.
The script for the movie has been shrouded in secrecy since the project was announced in August, but Aaron Paul recently told the New York Times, quote, "All I can say, I think people will be really happy with what they see. It's a chapter of Breaking Bad that I didn't realize I wanted, and now that I have it, I'm so happy it's there."
El Camino will hit Netflix on October 11th.
All right, guys, moving on to this. Fake clouds in 2019, they can translate to, you know, a lot of different things.
Bit of a controversy.
A controversy,
right?
yeah. And when it comes to photos and photo editing, it can become a real
upset,
problem.
but it can also lead to a job, which is really crazy for this story.
Yeah, Instagram influencer Tupi Saravia confirmed that she had been editing her photos to include fake clouds. It's a photo editing app that she was using that actually reached out to and wants to collab with her now. Is this ethical, guys?
Truly a story that could only exist in 2019. Now, originally, she got a little backlash when her fans started noticing similar cloud formations in her photos, but she insists she's always been very open about editing her photos for
All right,
fans.
so she posted a message to her Instagram story a week ago saying in part, "I don't see the big deal here. Editing photos means changing color, balances, exposure, clarity, contrast. This is all meant to enhance the image in order to have it fit an artistic vision." Is it really that different than putting filters on? I don't know.
Yeah, we're all living in a fake world on Instagram, right? She uses an app called Enlight Quick Shot to edit her photos. It's an app that lets you edit various aspects of your photo and then add clouds in the sky. Not just one way to add them, they have different styles, also sunset clouds. I will admit, it's kind of a cool app.
It is. Well, you know what's surprising to me? How well it works. QuickShot told BuzzFeed News that they are partnering up with Saravia so that she can personalize a new cloud pack. She told the outlet that she thinks her new collab with the app is both exciting and hilarious. Yes.
Well, one of our producers decided to put the app to the test with one of her own photos. So let's see how it turned out.
Also the before and after.
Okay, so that's actually a slight edit there.
Before on the left,
right?
after on the right.
And it looks pretty realistic on the right.
And as someone who's been there at the Griffith Observatory, clouds like that do exist on some days. That
I
could
would
be
totally
real.
believe that that was real.
All right. She liked that the app was free. You do have to pay for the pro features on it if you want some of the more advanced options, but it's good if you just need a quick edit. You can also adjust where you need the clouds. Like you get in there and like show like more over here. Or
We also tried it with some of our own photos. We got Jeremy's picture coming up.
Oh, look at that.
It's a nice little touch
Mykonos,
to it.
guys, no big deal. Oh, Mykonos does look better with clouds on the right. Yeah.
Okay, and then I have an edit as well. Mine's a little more drastic, I think. Oh, someone else did that for me. I have another one that I can show you guys later.
Oh, look at the
Those clouds are a little too much, I think.
The after's on the right with the clouds.
Well, yeah. I mean, or if you want to get the app that takes the clouds away, then you can get the other one.
You have to pay extra for that, guys. I don't know. Whatever. All right.
Anyway, it's something to try out.
Check it out.
All right, moving on to this. Season 4 of The Real Housewives of Dallas is now underway. We are here with one of the show stars, LeeAnne Locken. How are you?
I'm great.
What do you think? You gonna start adding some clouds to the pics or what?
You know, that is not what I use editing apps for. I make myself thinner.
Okay.
I remove zits. You know.
You actually do the Facetune where you squeeze in?
People are like, you're so Facetuned, and I'm like, well, it's cheaper than a facelift.
I mean, we are so happy to have you. You're going to join in our weekly Housewives recap in a bit, but first we wanted to talk about the season in general. So thanks for being here.
Here we go. On PeopleTV's reality check, you basically said that you thought new housewife Carrie Brittingham not liking you was premeditated, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Why do you think she decided not to like you this season? What's the deal?
Well, I think think if you come onto a show and you absolutely don't even, I mean, like, I genuinely don't know her. I didn't get a chance to really get to know her because she didn't want to get to know me.
It's a stranger.
She's a complete stranger. So, you know, the things that she comes out and says, you know, I mean, if she thinks I'm boring, maybe it's because I was bored around her, so I don't know.
Okay, right, like, yeah, maybe there wasn't much for you to work with.
I mean, if you're not giving me anything, I'm just supposed to do like a monkey dance over here by myself.
If People exclusively covered your wedding. You were
Yes.
to see that
Congrats.
unfold. How has life changed now that you're married?
You know what? It really has. Our wedding was so beautiful. Look how handsome he is. He's so handsome. His vows low-key stole the wedding, big time. He's so charming. And he's just, you know, you wake up the next morning and he's like, can you believe you're my wife?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then the first couple of times you say, you know, my husband, you're like,
It is weird to say the word,
so
right?
weird. It's like I have a disease or something. Like Tourette's, I say husband, and I'm like, ooh, what is that? Does that come with like a ball and chain or something? Like,
No, it comes with.
I feel like I need a getaway car or something.
Whoa, wow,
Just kidding.
that was quick. That was quick. Cameron Westcott told us that when she threw your bridal shower, both you and her were upset that basically nobody attended except you two and then Carrie Duber. What was the deal with that? How much did it actually hurt that the other housewives didn't attend?
You know, I think Cameron was definitely very upset because she was the one who had taken the time and spent the money to put together the couples shower. And it was a real opportunity for us as couples to interact, which we rarely really get to do.
Yeah.
And you know, both Brandi and Stephanie had responded in RSVP that they would be in attendance, and then like less than 24 hours, the answer was we won't.
Yeah.
So then it's like hustling to try to, now we've already paid for these 4 seats at this intimate table. So then, you know, you have to.
Yeah, that kind of planning does take a lot of work. It actually does. Yeah.
I think that was really more of what was upsetting was,
Sure.
you know, I planned this party and now, you know, half the table down here is, because it wasn't just 2, it's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about episode 2 in a minute.
Sure.
A lot of roller coaster of emotions there. But right now, how are you and D'Andra doing?
We were at a party together last night. We, you know, listen, I genuinely, I know she's gone out and done press that says I'm angry, but like, sorry, I'm not. You know.
Yeah.
Took a little toke this morning.
How was the party?
I'm good. Just kidding.
All jokes.
So were you guys like partying together? Was it just you saw each other, or you were having
I mean, parties are big in New York. You know, there's a lot of people. It's not like we were like, you know, glued to each other. We're not Siamese twins. We actually can be at separate parts of the party and enjoy it just fine.
Well, and yeah, you get here, it's exciting. There's a lot going on. I get it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about new cheating allegations came out in the premiere.
Okay.
Your now husband, Rich, basically texting D'Andra that her husband cheated on her.
I know he texted Jeremy. I did not know that he had also subsequently sent it to D'Andra. But yeah, and you know, she's the one who brought that out on television. That I've never spoke of that. You'll never see me speak of it during the entire season. That's not my business.
Okay.
That's not my tea, and I was not happy with my husband.
Okay, so I was going to say, did you get angry at him maybe in private
I
for
didn't
saying
get
like, why
angry,
did you?
but I was like, dude, like you're not helping me.
Right.
You know, and listen, he's very, you know, she'd gone out and reached out to his ex-wives, and I mean, just gone all this like, oh my God, do a backflip, you know, like how much info do you need to get, you know, like massage the cake and put it in the oven.
Why do you think he took so much interest in kind of being involved?
I think he did not like the fact that these lies were invented about him.
Talk about this. So there's a moment in the trailer from the premiere. We see Cameron throw a napkin in Brandi's face. It was this huge moment. Later in the tease, she's wearing the same outfit.
I did see it.
My
I
eyes
could
are
hear
like-
it
And
in
later,
my head.
she says, she's freaking trash. I'm done. She's in the same outfit. So did her saying that ever get back to the group? And do you know if it was about Brandi?
I think that it got more than back to the group because she said it at this dinner in front of everyone, and it really took on a life of itself. Look, we as individuals, part of our job should be in this group to really understand what triggers each other. Cameron is not a fan of loud noises or people pointing in her face. So when Brandi is yelling and pointing and screaming cuss words, then Cameron uses words that trigger Brandi, which is trash, and I get it. Look, that's just not a word that we should, you know, be throwing around. And the reality is, the way I grew up, you could say that about me, and I've had it said about me, and it doesn't feel great, you know. So I think if we're really going to elevate as a group and, you know, be a really strong group, we just need to
Yeah.
Realize what triggers me.
That's so interesting. What triggers you?
Everything.
You name it. I will say that a finger in the face with cuss words being thrown at you would trigger
the F word.
most people.
Yeah.
FY.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, LeeAnne, let's watch a little clip from last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Dallas. Then we're going to break down the episode. It's D'Andra's 50th birthday party, and her husband Jeremy gives her 50 donuts. Watch this.
45 of them are kind of the shitty kind of donuts. Those represent the years that she wasn't with me. My wife has 5 gourmet donuts in there, and that represents not her, but what she has given to me.
Instead of 50 donuts, I would prefer 50 cars, 50 diamonds, 50 dresses, 50 cents.
She's finding all of them. She's claiming them all.
She's like the Cookie Monster with the donut. She's like, if she eats all those donuts, she would gain 50. Oh, good, I really want one now. I do too. Like, we all have a donut.
If it's edible and not glued down, she shoves it in her mouth.
We're about to discuss that delicious D'Andra moment from last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Dallas. Plus, we're breaking down Orange County and the Potomac season finale as well.
Yeah, joining Dallas housewife LeeAnne Locken are People's Housewives experts, People writer and reporter Dave Quinn, and People TV producer Sam Bellicott. What's up?
Here we go. All right, let's start with that clip that we just saw. LeeAnne, what's your reaction to D'Andra getting 50 donuts as a gift for her birthday?
Yeah, that would not go over well in my house. Actually, my husband and I talked about this on the ride over here, and he was like, 50 donuts. And I was like, the day you give me donuts for my birthday, you are going to be missing body parts.
Just so you know.
Just get some stuff straight.
Sam, what'd you think of that?
My favorite part was that he actually gave her 45 bad donuts, only 5 gourmet donuts. And I think that's an important fact that we're all forgetting here.
No,
I mean, 5 good donuts. It's not enough for a 50th birthday.
But even then, the 45 bad ones cut to Mama D's face.
Okay, all right.
Like,
The other top moment during the roast was when LeeAnne, you actually spoke to D'Andra in front of everyone. Dave, what did you think of how that all went down?
Well, I thought it was actually really brave of LeeAnne to do because everyone in the room was literally booing her. There were people who were screaming negative things to her as she was walking up to the stage. And then she got up there and gave a really nice toast. She actually handed D'Andra, 2 candles?
Right.
One with forgiveness and the other with hope. Thank you. And I thought it was really sweet that was like a very nice moment to show that she was kind of ready to move on. I am very hopeful that the two of them will be able to move on. I think we want to see as viewers them be friends again.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we have to talk about this moment between you and Brandi. You've had a rocky road in your friendship. Let's take a look and then we'll talk about it.
I came home and I was telling Rich about how well we were getting along. And he was loving it. He's already like, you just need to go ahead and send Brandi an invite to the wedding. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, all right.
I don't take this as an invitation. I feel like that's more of like an afterthought. Like, I might be on the D list or even the Z list, but I'm being thought of.
So LeeAnne, what was your reaction to hearing Brandi's interview there?
You know what? That's so Brandi. Like, that's what I love about Brandi, though. She makes jokes about everything. It's fun. She's lighthearted. And that's the part of Brandi that I love being around. You know, it's true. At Andy's baby shower, we had a great time. And, you know, tequila's great at breaking down walls.
It really is.
Well, LeeAnne, thank you so much for being here with us, and we love getting your breakdown of everything. You're also so hilarious.
Oh, you are so sweet.
Yeah, this was
Come back,
really
please.
fun. Can't wait to see what you get up to on The Real Housewives of Dallas. There's a lot more to get to.
Yeah, a lot more housewives to discuss. We're going to move on to this week's Orange County. Take a quick look.
I feel very upset and resentful towards you, and I know you feel upset and resentful towards me.
You seem to communicate your feelings quite well.
I have trouble with the way that you talk to me sometimes.
Now this is a bashing session on Shane. Okay, calm down.
I don't like the condescending tone, and it's sarcasm all the time.
I honestly don't believe I'm sarcastic to the degree that Emily says I am. Her choice in using the word sarcasm is just a blanket excuse to cover everything.
I get tired of being the butt of all your jokes sometimes.
And sometimes it's satire, right? You know what satire is? It's joking at the expense of others. So it's not sarcasm.
Tell me you love me.
You love me.
All right, Sam, tough to watch, right?
I watched it through my eyes. That it is a tough scene. I mean, they're not communicating well. When your wife tells you, I think we need someone to help us communicate, and then you shut that down, that's sort of a sign that you're not communicating at all. We know that they're having rough times, and what's really interesting is he said to the producers, like, do you know what satire is? And like, I don't think Shane knows exactly what satire is. Like, satire is best employed in a performance or a literary technique. It's not performed directly face-to-face to your wife. You don't satirize someone to their face in that way. So I think he needs to work on his communication style with her.
Yeah, the other top storyline of the night was all about Shannon's mission to get feuding Vicki and Kelly to both come to her wellness retreat. Dave, what stood out to you about this moment?
For me, what was interesting is that in the past, Vicki had been on the outs with the rest of the group. Kelly was her closest ally, and Kelly was the one who was really sticking by Vicki's side and saying, like, listen, everybody, you have to forgive her. She doesn't mean this. And now all of a sudden, Vicki and Kelly are feuding, and Kelly is actually saying all the same things that those women were saying before. She's not even listening to her own advice, which is being turned back to them. These relationships go round and round.
It really is like this constant sort of like cycle. Moving on to the season finale of The Real Housewives of Potomac, let's watch the moment when a newly pregnant Ashley encountered her castmates at Karen's perfume party. Watch.
I'm so thirsty today. I'm like parched. Parched? Is this water or is this?
No, it's water.
Okay.
I have never been to a social function where Ashley did not have a Corona in her hand.
Throw it back, Ashley.
All right, Dave, what'd you think of this moment? Ashley decided to keep her pregnancy hidden from the ladies.
Well, she tried as hard as she could. She didn't do the best job right away. They all pretty much saw through her when they were at that party because she wasn't drinking Corona, which is the thing that Ashley drinks at every single party that she's at. But I thought it was a smart idea. She had had a miscarriage in the past. So she wanted to wait until she was at the point where she really was past the safe mark. Right. That a lot of women wait till they tell that information, and she was really early on. We did get to see her tell her mother, which I thought was very touching and sweet. And now, of course, she has this beautiful son.
Can I just say, they do a really good job tapping into some very heartfelt moments. In addition to all the kind of wild drama, like they do that really well on this show.
It's super sweet, and I think that's what makes viewers coming back all these years later.
Yeah. The other top moment from Potomac's finale came when the ladies finally got to see and smell Karen's perfume. Watch.
Oh, it smells good. Oh, yes. Yes.
In my mind, I'm about a good 32, 35, tops 36 years old. But after I got sprayed down, I'm about 73, 74. I became a grandma.
My mom will love it.
Sam, did this moment smell right to you?
I mean, it didn't smell perfect. I'm sure the perfume smelled better than the moment did. It was shady, but you know what? Sometimes a shady smell is the smell you need when it comes to a season finale. So it was fun to see. I loved that she said it's coming to a retail store, and they're like, which retail store? It's like, a retail store. So more to come in the reunion, but what a way to cap off the season with the shady Giselle.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's in Bloomingdale's. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very big deal.
That's a big deal.
Good for her. And all of that. Wow, this has been one wild Real Housewives recap. Dave, Sam, thank you so much for being here. And thanks again to LeeAnne Locken for joining earlier. Great to see her. Everybody, make sure to follow along with us and watch The Real Housewives of Potomac reunion episodes Sundays at 8, The Real Housewives of Orange County Tuesdays at 9, The Real Housewives of Dallas Wednesdays at 9, all, of course, on Bravo.
All right, we're taking one last look at our People poll. We've been asking you which iconic Super Bowl halftime show performance was your favorite. Let's see, Lady Gaga
takes the
lead. But it's a pretty close poll.
Dave, what do you think?
I'm all for Gaga. Yeah, she jumped off the roof. Okay.
That was like the crowning moment, right?
That wins. Jumped off the roof.
All right, we'll be asking you a new question of the day tomorrow on People Now, so tune in for that.
Coming up tomorrow. So why don't you slide? That is us doing the Goo Goo Dolls, if you didn't know. But they will be here, and they can do a better job than us. They're talking new music, fatherhood, sobriety. They're telling us why we shouldn't try to sing their songs, and so much more.
I regret that. Plus, we're joined live by Goliath stars Nina Arianda and Tanya Raymond. Thank you so much for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Val Schmirkowski.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, I'm Val Schmirkowski from Dancing with the Stars, and this is one last thing. The last show I binge watched was Euphoria.
Every time I feel good, I think it'll last forever. But it doesn't.
The last country I visited was England. The last time I laughed out loud was 5 seconds ago when I said hello to Jeremy.
Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We love when you stop by.
I love this couch and
Yeah?
pillows. Yeah.